Hello, Holly. How are you? Okay, we're on. Hello, everybody. It's April 30th. The time is 6:32 p.m. I'd like to call this Town of Dover Town Board regular meeting to order by asking everybody to please rise and say the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to ask everybody to just remain standing for a moment in memory of our Pope who just passed last week. Thank you. At this point in time, are there any public comments or questions on agenda items only? Here we go again, Katie. That's all right. Yep. Anybody on agenda items only? Seeing nobody approaching the podium. Reports of the Recreation Director and the Highway Superintendent and the Building Department, which I have. So, Julie, you want to go first?
Julie Muncie, Dover Recreation. So this weekend is opening day of Little League. We have a kite flying day. It's our prep day and information. If you would like to participate in the lawn mowing races that we have on Dover Day. And it's also the fishing derby up at Chestnut Rod and Gun Club, sorry.
I've got it.
Obviously, it's all weather permitted. Unfortunately, it doesn't look great out there, but if we can do it, we will, everybody's going to do what we've set out to do for this weekend. So we'll see what happens. But if we cancel, everybody will know by Friday or Saturday morning. We have teamed up with Skyhawk Sports to bring us the Super Tots, which we did a session of, which was very successful. We're doing it again outside at Boys Park as well. That starts at 2 years old. That is also being pushed back from May 1st to May 15th now. We have an older multi-sport, which starts at 6 years old, and that starts on June 4th. Our track and field program starts Monday, June 30th, and our flag football is still to be determined, probably later in the summer. Unfortunately, this year, we are unable to do the summer theater program. The school is doing renovations at the auditorium. So they asked us, we can't get in there at all, so we're going to postpone that till next year. On May 31st, Saturday, the Rojas Benefit Concert is down at Boys Park. If anybody would like to sponsor the event, they can call me at 845-832-9168 down at the park. They are also the school, the cross-country coaches, and the sports director. They're organizing a 5K walk-run. But we'll have music, food trucks, raffles, and lots of activities for the kids going on that day. The Dover Cleanup Day is on Saturday, May 17th at 8 a.m. At Boys Park Pavilion. Please be there so Supervisor Yino can give all the safety instructions that we need to get, and you'll get your bags, your grabbers, and the gloves. Day camp starts June 30th to August 8th. Registration is open. Please feel free to contact the Recreation Office if anybody has any problems registering your child. We also have our Playground program, which starts right after day camp for the next 2 weeks after that. And Community Day is on Saturday, September 20th this year. If anybody would like to sponsor, be a vendor or food vendor, we're also doing our parade. So you can go on live on our website. You can register for any of those, as well as go into the office if you have any questions. Any other information?
Nope. Thank you for bringing up some of those items. I have them in my notes as well.
Okay.
The 17th especially for cleanup day, and even more than anything, the 31st of May.
Yep.
That is a special event, like I have said in the past. It's not only for a resident here at Dover, it's for one of our own family.
Yep.
And I'll leave it at that. but that day is going to be a special day. We're going to help a family out in Dover, and when people have needed help in Dover, we've always stepped up, the residents as well. So that's all I have for that.
Great. Thank you.
Yep, and if I may, just in our executive session, you're invited to attend. I got to talk about some legal issues with you as well.
Yep.
All right?
Thank
At
you.
the end of the meeting. Thank you. Highway Superintendent Jason Sartori isn't here tonight. He's actually attending another meeting in the county. But I think, Councilman Holmes, you're going to read it?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead.
Street sweeping is completed. All of the roads in Dover and Wingdale have been swept and cleaned up, along with our town buildings and parking lots. The Highway Department team is preparing the roads by cleaning out ditches and have started grading, weather permitting. We've had several calls from residents. All the dirt roads are going to be graded, so please be patient. Highway Department will be working on 4 paving projects: Johnson Road, Sheldon Road, Sprague Road, Bannister Lane. Before paving begins, there will be a few culvert pipes replaced along Johnson Road. Monthly truck and equipment maintenance shall continue to be completed. Superintendent Sartori would like to thank his team for all their hard work and efforts during the snow and ice events. He greatly appreciates all the extra hours put in to help keep the town roads clear. Thank you, Jason Sartori.
Thank you, Tom. From the Building Department, 35 permits were issued this month, 21 CCs, 6 COs, 3 violations, one of which is in the court as we, at this time, but that person did draw a permit for decommissioning of the burned-out building on a local road in Dover, town of Dover. And so that's a report from the building. On to the agenda. Reports to the councilman, board members, or myself. We're going to start with Councilman Holmes.
Yes, just going over Jason's stuff. I've met with him a couple times this month, and we talked about the grading of the roads and the blacktop going to be going on and the maintenance on the vehicles. And that was about it.
Thank you. Councilman Maluta.
Okay, from the American Legion, Post 1949, Memorial Day is on Monday, May 26th. We'll meet again at the town board after that. So on Monday, May 26th, will be our Memorial Day parade. We'll assemble at the elementary school in Dover and make our way to the cemetery. Obviously, if there's inclement weather, we'll do a small service right there at the firehouse. Lineup is at 9 a.m. to those who received a letter from the commander. Second, motorcycles are out there. Please be safe and aware. That's all I got.
Thank you, Jan. Councilwoman Jackson.
The Dover High School would like to let everybody know that Dover Legacy Racing is having a car show called Cars and Coffee on Saturday, May 10th, between 3 and 6 p.m. The reason this is so important is that the Dover High School students are presenting the race car that they have actually constructed this year and want to show the public what their car looks like and have people come and see that. They're sponsoring with Dancing Bear Cafe and Stupid Delicious Pizza. Free snacks, come and see the car, come show your cars. That's May 10th, 3 to 6 p.m. at Dover High School.
All set? Thank you. Deputy Supervisor Murphy.
So, Katie, I'm going to be submitting a report. I didn't get to write it up yet, but I'll submit a report. I also want to make an announcement that over the last couple of weeks into months, I haven't really given a lot of time to any of the departments and really with the board. I just want to apologize and thank you all for helping pick up some of my duties. Julie, again, my apologies to you as well. I haven't been there for you as much. And even Marilyn, I know she stepped away from the planning board, but things are calming down on my side, so I will be back ready to go and be involved as much as I can. So I just wanted to make everybody know about that. So I appreciate all the help.
That is, I totally understand. Sometimes the job just bites off more than you can chew. And I'm fine with that. You were still there by phone and by email, and I'm more than fine with that, and I'm sure the rest of the board were too.
I appreciate it.
But thank you for just making that statement to answer some questions that were out there probably. My report. This is a very busy year We've got a lot of projects coming down the line. Some of them while I've been out the last few weeks on my own for other reasons. I took care of some of them and gotten some of them moving forward, hopefully. We got 2 generator projects coming. If you all remember, at the end of the year, we had to cancel the original generator job at the library because of the boiler just going kaput on us, which was an expense that we were not budgetarily prepared for, so we had to make it happen. Winter was coming, so we canceled the generator job. But so what we did is we realigned some funding through the ARPA money, which is the COVID money, and some of our own money, and we purchased the generators on our own. So we did take delivery of one. I believe the one for the library will be here at any day. It's due I think by the end of this month coming. So that's what we did, and I worked on redoing the RFP or the bid for the library job for just an installation and not a full job like Joe helped us and Katie helped us on and Katie submitted for us. So that's one job. The other job is the other generator, which will be done up at the highway garage. We walked around and looked at that. That RFP will be put on hold for a short time because truthfully a lot of the prep work Jason and his guys can do. So then the only job that'll need to be done, of course, is the propane tanks installed and then the hookup of the actual generator, which we'll put out to bid. Okay, so in the long run, we're going to be saving some money because we're able to buy the generators off a contract. All right? So that's 2 of them. The other big job, which was a total unexpected issue again, we thought we can piecemeal it together for one more year and put it all together and get it done going into 2026. But I was advised after the budgetary process that we need to replace the air conditioning system at the library. We're finding that it's harder and harder to find parts. So I've been working on that, and I actually reached out they reached out to me to see what was going on and how we were doing, and I had a great conversation with Senator Hinchy's office yesterday, and they want every bit of information I can give them on that job because they are looking to try to help us out on it, which is a helper, because again, it was an unexpected issue. We thought we could make it work in budgetarily this year and put it into the 26 budget and get it done going into 26, and it kind of went a little faster than we were hoping, and truthfully what the people that were doing the repairs thought as well, but it did. It went night-night on us. So that's where we're at. The propane for both generators, they will fuel the generator. We will be doing that ourselves as well through our contracted propane provider, which I believe is on state contract or OGS contract, they call it. So we have to go with them. We will be purchasing the tank, the labor for the installation, and then, of course, the fuel after it's all installed. And we went the cleanest way we could with the generator, which is the propane fuel. Okay, so that's the 3 big projects. And then I got to thank Jason as well, him and his guys, going into after the new year. We've got thrown another curveball, and we lost the underground leg for power supply to the Tabor Wing House in Dover. We were lucky to find it because it was one of the coldest weeks we were in, and our rec staff checked it out like they do occasionally, and they went there and realized there was no power and it was a little cold in there, so which told us it wasn't out long, but we found it. We were lucky and we found it. So we had a local electrician come in an emergency status. I had to declare an emergency for that, and he got us temporary power. And now that the 811 call before you digs were all cleared and everything came in that we needed, they started that job yesterday, and I believe I got a text from our staff. Power is back fully. The ditch has been backfilled and seeded and hayed, and the Tabor Wing is completely ready to go, and it's good again. So it was a rough winter, especially going into winter after November 20th when we voted the budget. 2 out of the 4 things hit us. So it was a long winter. It was a frustrating winter, but that's where we're at for that. So thank you, Jason, for helping that out. There were some comments on social media not long ago basically focused on another big project that we have going on in this town, and that was the pond dredging project last year, okay? A lot of people don't understand what we had to do in order to let that dirt sit and dry. In 2 months, 2.5 months, Joe, after that dirt was dug out, it was still leaching water out the bottom of them piles. So then we got lucky right in before winter. It was a dry, late summer, fall. It was very dry. We were able to get some of that out of there. But I saw the comments last week, and if anybody was paying attention, some of them comments and questions were answered in meetings and actually during public hearings when we were leading up, trying to propose the rec center the pond was talked about. So this is where we're at. Jason is in the process of getting prices for renting the equipment that we need in order to finish that project. A bulldozer, I believe a bigger excavator. Legislator House has arranged and scheduled with Dutchess County Water and Soil. They are going to do a hydro seed process for us for nothing. County's going to do that for us once we get it graded out. But it's all got to go coincide with each other. There's no sense doing all the work now and then letting it sit. So we're going to do the work based on the schedule that the county gives us, get it done, get it seeded, let it set, and if we're lucky and fortunate enough, we'll actually be mowing it by summer. That's our plans. So for those out there that sit behind the keyboard and like to say we're just letting it sit there and look ugly because we're lazy, well, come and see me in person and I'll tell you the truth, okay? So that's where we're at. We're looking at renting the equipment, and truthfully, the dozer we want isn't available until, I can't remember when he told me, but not right now. All right? So that's where we're at on that. Anybody calls you, Julie, you can tell them that, or you can refer them to me. All right? We spoke about Memorial Day. Thank you, Jan. Elected officials are invited, as always. I appreciate that. Thank you. The 17th is cleanup day, and this weekend is very busy. Little League, fishing derby at the gun club, kite flying event at the rec park. Thank you for that. I hope we get it going. But the fishing derby is a public event. Public is invited. It's all the way at the top of the mountain at the end of Cooperstown Road. 8 to 15, 8 to 14 age group, something like that. Must be accompanied by an adult. But we shared the post, and it starts, registration's at 8 or 8:30 Saturday, if it goes on. That's all I have. Anybody else? Madam Clerk, got anything?
Good, thank you.
Board members, good? Council?
All good things.
Good? All right. Now, let me see if my computer came back. Word up. There we go.
There you go.
You still signing? Okay. You got it? Okay, resolutions. Resolution to authorize and approve consent agenda items. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Dover does hereby approve the following items for consideration and adoption on the April 30th, 2025 town board regular meeting consent agenda. Authorize the payment of abstract number 4 of 2025 in the amount of $162,921.51. Accept the minutes of the town board regular meeting of March 26, 2025. Approve the town clerk's report for March 2025. Approve town supervisor's financial report for March of 2025. And accept unanticipated revenue and authorize budget transfers, budget amendments, and payment of off-abstract purchase orders as prepared and submitted by the town's bookkeeper. I'll entertain a motion. Brought by Murphy, seconded by Holmes. Discussion. Along with that, I'll add that we did get notice today that the annual report submitted by our bookkeeper and my financial staff in my office is certified in there in plenty of time and on time once again. So thank you to Nicole, Lizette, and Tracy in my office, and everybody else involved. Thank you very much. Any other discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried. Go by the number ones. Next one. Next one. There you go. Resolution accepting Recreation Program Grant Award from Berkshire Taconic Community Foundation. Whereas the town of Dover submitted a grant application to the Northeast Duchess Fund of the Berkshire Taconic Community Foundation for a $1,450 grant for his view from the Ridge, in quotes, the Ridge, the life and works of Dover's Benson J. Lossing. And whereas the town of Dover has received notification that it has received the $1,450 grant award for this program. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Dover hereby accepts the grant award from the Northern Duchess Fund of the Berkshire Taconic Community Foundation. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Brought by Maluta, seconded by Murphy. Discussion. Thank you once again. Katie? Thank you. And whoever else was involved, I appreciate it. This helps the Historical Society, correct?
Yeah, it's actually a historical society grant, and it covers half of the cost of conserving Benson Lossing's volume in History of the Civil War. So it'll be a volume that we had donated, but it was in poor repair.
Poor condition.
And we'll offer a program for the public and for students at Tabor Wing with the Historical Society.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Very good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried. Resolution awarding the 2025-2026 Town Recreation Bus Transportation Service. Whereas the town of Dover advertised for requests for proposals for recreation bus transportation services for 2025-2026 for the town of Dover. And whereas proposals were received, opened, and reviewed. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Dover hereby accepts and awards the proposal of First Student Incorporated of Dover Plains, New York for 2025-2026 recreation bus services in the town of Dover at a rate of $75 per hour. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Murphy, seconded by Holmes. Discussion. Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried. Resolution authorizing the closure of Town Capital Projects Bank account. Whereas the Town of Dover bookkeeper has recommended the closure of the Town of Dover Capital Projects account at NBT Bank, and that the balance of funds in the Capital Projects account be deposited into the multi-fund account at M&T Bank. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Dover authorizes the closure of the capital projects account at NBT Bank, and be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Dover authorizes that the funds from the to be closed capital projects account be deposited in the multi-fund account at M&T Bank. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Murphy, seconded by Jackson. Any discussion? The main project that this was for is over with. They're coming to an end, so it's that time. That's what this is for. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So carried. Resolution authorizing the preparation and submission of a 2025 Dutchess County Municipal Investment Grant, MIG, program application. Whereas the Dutchess County Municipal Investment Grant, MIG, program has announced a 2025 grant opportunity for municipalities that operate a senior center, providing a minimum of 12 hours per week of programming for general capital infrastructure improvements to facilities, for recreation program equipment and supplies, and for ADA-compliant improvements. Excuse me. And whereas the town of Dover currently operates a twice-weekly senior recreation program that meets 12 hours per week and that is in need of some updated equipment and supplies that would help improve the health, safety, and social support of its participants. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Dover hereby authorizes the presentation and preparation and submission of a 2025 Dutchess County Municipal Investment Grant, MIG, application, and be it further resolved that the town board authorizes the town supervisor and town clerk to prepare and submit the grant application on behalf of the town of the Dutchess, on behalf of the town to the Dutchess County MIG program by the application deadline date of May 15th, 2025. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Maluta, seconded by Jackson. We've been discussing this. Katie's been working with Julie, Tracy. You want to talk about it?
Yeah. It was offered through Dutchess County government. Executive Sue Serino kind of announced it not too long ago. And Julie and I have met with another colleague from the town, and we prepared a questionnaire to distribute to the participants to ask them about the improvements they would most like, and then we'll develop the grant around that and submit it in time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully, once again, we'll be successful getting it. Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Whereas the town of Dover advertised for bids for the purchase and installation of a new wheelchair lift at Dover Town Hall, and whereas the bids were received, opened, and reviewed. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Dover does hereby accept and award the bid of North Star Lifts LLC of Tully, New York, in the amount of $22,540 for the purchase and installation of a new wheelchair lift at Dover Town Hall. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Jackson, seconded by Murphy. Discussion. This was a long time coming.
Yeah.
We had issues with our lift, and again, it's, what do we say, it aged out. We can't get parts for it, it's harder and harder to find anybody that can fix it. So with some state money, some state aid, we reconfigured some requests, and that money helped us out do this, and that was the bid was awarded to this company here. I can't remember the number, but there was a considerable difference. So here we're at, okay? Any questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried. Resolution authorizing the release of a performance guarantee of J&J Log and Lumber Corp. Whereas construction has been completed for a 12,500 square foot maintenance building located at 528 Old Route 22 for parcel number 7061-00-966541. And whereas town engineer Joe Berger has conducted an inspection and has found the construction has been completed to the satisfaction of the site plan and permit specifications. And whereas J&J Log and Lumber had posted a performance guarantee in the amount of $1,000. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board and the town of Dover hereby authorizes the release of the performance guarantee in the amount of $1,000 posted by J&J Log and Lumber Corp. Entertain a motion.
Second.
Brought by Holmes, seconded by Maluta. All in favor? Any discussion?
Supervisor, this resolution has some, needs to be corrected.
Okay.
The building was never built, and so that's why we're giving back the performance bond. And so we verified that so maybe
Maybe there was a misunderstanding in the email and we just
yeah.
changed
In your
verbiage.
packets, you'll see there's
Regardless, the town has to authorize the release.
The release of it,
bonds.
yeah.
Okay.
Whether the content of the binding the resolution.
Okay.
If the building was built or not, we'll return the $1,000 is the correct amount.
So is everybody fine with the clerk correcting the resolution, but we're going to be voting on and approving to give the $1,000 back?
Absolutely.
Correct, counsel?
okay, that would be great. I'll
Is
take
everybody
care of
okay
it.
with that? Sue?
Yes.
All good?
All good?
Okay. So we're going to be moving on and voting on approving the $1,000 to be given back to J&J Log and Lumber Corp. And and the clerk will take care of corrections for the resolution for record. Okay?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried.
Could you just tell me who motioned and seconded that?
Tommy
Tom?
and Jan.
Okay,
Tommy
thank
brought
you.
it, Jan seconded it.
Sorry, I was thinking ahead and I
Nope.
didn't hear it.
Nice catch.
Resolution authorizing the release of a performance guarantee of Westchester Modular Homes. Whereas construction has been completed on 4 multifamily dwellings, and whereas town engineer Joe Berger has conducted an inspection and has found the construction has been completed to the satisfaction of the site plan and permit specs located at Reagan's Mill, Wingdale, New York, Reagan's Mill Road, Wingdale, New York, known by tax grid 716000167667, 184670, 196673, and 227678. And whereas Westchester Modular Homes had posted a performance guarantee in the amount of $17,097. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Dover hereby authorizes the release of the performance guarantee in the amount of $17,097 posted by Westchester Modular Homes in connection with the construction of 4 multifamily dwellings. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Murphy, seconded by Jackson. This one was correct? All good?
Joe
Any
helped.
discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So carried. Resolution authorizing for the advertisement of sealed bids for installation of a new commercial generator at the Dover Library. Whereas the town of Dover desires to seek sealed bids for the installation of a new commercial generator to be located at the Dover Library. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Dover does hereby authorize and direct the town clerk to advertise for bids for the installation of a commercial generator at the Dover Library in the official newspaper of the town of Dover and on BidNet. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Jackson, seconded by Maluta. Discussion. This was the project I spoke of earlier. It will only be an installation, okay, because we purchased it, and we will be handling the propane end of this job. All right, any further discussion?
Let's get it done.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried. Authorize a grant-related loan from the general fund for the Dutchess County 2024 CDBG project, crosswalk improvements at School Street and Route 22. Whereas the town of Dover applied for and was awarded a reimbursable grant of $87,500 for ADA-compliant crosswalk improvements at School Street and Route 22. The approved grant budget also includes a $5,000 town-funded match. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Dover hereby authorizes a loan in the amount of $87,500 from the General A Fund to the Capital Project CD6 Fund in connection with this 2024 CDBG grant. Be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Dover hereby authorizes an intra-fund transfer in the amount of $5,000 from the General A Fund to the Capital Project CD6 Fund in connection with this 2024 CDBG grant. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Murphy, seconded by Maluta. Discussion. So if you remember, we received this grant. Basically, we're using our money to do the project, and then it's reimbursed. But the condition within this grant is we are responsible for $5,000 of it, which crosswalk that takes the people from the school parking lot to our property on Stone Church, 99% of it. I think that's well worth their dollars. Okay? Any other discussion or questions? Seeing no further discussion, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So carried. Resolution authorizing the payment of deposit for purchase of portable handicap accessible bathroom restrooms at JHK Memorial, at JH Ketchum Park. Whereas the town of Dover has received a purchase agreement from Savarese Septic Services Incorporated at Dover Plains, New York, for the purchase of two 10-foot handicapped accessible portable toilet units, and whereas the agreement calls for a refundable $4,400 deposit. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board at the town of Dover does hereby authorize the payment of the refundable deposit of $4,400 to Savarese Septic Service Incorporated for the purchase of two 10-foot handicap accessible portable toilet units to be installed at J.H. Ketchum Park. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Maluta, seconded by Jackson. Discussion. Okay, this is a continuation of the project that, we started. It reads as portable toilet, but remember, we bought the shed for an enclosure for these. They're going to be piped to the septic. They're going to have running water and everything else. So you can say portable toilets, but they're going to be encased in a wooden shed out of the weather. They're going to be basically bathrooms opened for the public using the track, the workout equipment, the ball field out back, soccer on the weekends. I believe the little kids, the littler groups play on those fields there. So that's what this is. And, the other issue we're still pursuing. Okay? Any other discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So carried. I want to thank Richie Savarese for working with us on this, but much appreciated. Resolution approving the 2025 seasonal summer employees. Whereas the Town of Dover Recreation Department Director has provided the Town Board of the Town of Dover with her recommendations for 2025 Town of Dover seasonal employment. And whereas the Town Board of the Town of Dover has reviewed the Town of Dover Recreation Director's recommendations for 2025 seasonal employees. Now therefore be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Dover hereby approves the following individuals be hired for the 2025 Town of Dover as seasonal employees as attached hereto and made a part of hereof this resolution at the pay rates contained herein. They're going to be added, correct? They'll just be added. We don't have to read them? I don't
Right,
have.
I'll attach them, yes.
Okay. All right, at the pay rates contained herein. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Murphy, seconded by Holmes. Thank you for doing all the work, Julie. A lot of returns?
Yeah, almost 90%.
90% of them? Good. Very good. All right, anything else?
We did,
Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? I'm sorry, Katie, did you have something?
no, I wasn't into that. I did have a question. There is one more resolution, but I'm going to find it for you. The bookkeeper asked for one more resolution, and I don't see it in the list.
For the part-time clerk position?
No, but after you do that, I'll find it while you're doing that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. A resolution authorizing the reinstatement of part-time clerk. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover does hereby authorize the reinstatement of Isabella Martinez to her previous position of part-time clerk effective May 5th, 2025, at an hourly rate of $17.16 per hour for a period not to exceed 10 hours a week. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Maluta, seconded by Jackson. Discussion. It's that time of year we bring in part-time help, intern-type help, and Isabella has been here for 3 or 4 summers now. So we're going to give her some time during the week, and we budget for that, and it just helps out the rest of the staff. It's a busy time of year, so that's why we do it this time of year. Okay? Any other discussion? Hearing no further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried. Were you able to find it?
No, I guess,
Was it the names that she added?
no, I thought it was, it must have been the one for the crosswalk that she added. She added this afternoon, but for some reason I thought we didn't get it in there, but we're all set.
We're good?
Yep, we're all
Okay.
set, sorry. Just was making sure I didn't want to
Thanks,
miss it.
Jay.
Can't go back.
All right, at this point in time, are there any public comments? If you have any public comments, can you please approach the podium, state your name and where you're from?
Can I do that even though it wasn't on the agenda? Got anything?
At the end of the meeting is anything you want to talk about. Yep. The first one is the amended, the agenda items only. This one is open.
Still new with this.
That's all right.
Hi, Holly Morrissey, Cricket Hill Road. I had spoken with, sent you and Katie an email to follow up this past week about the speed limit sign that's been on Cricket Hill, and really happy to see that it's down on the other end. I just felt it was kind of ineffective on the other side. So I did have a couple of questions.
You want me to give
That
you
were
a
on the
statement and
email?
maybe I'll answer it?
Yeah, please, if you want to.
I did get your email, and I will apologize for not getting back to you.
I didn't expect you to, it's fine.
No, I'm going to tell you, I've been out recuperating, and
I
we
didn't
didn't hear
know that.
back from Mr. Balkine until late yesterday or today,
This morning.
this morning,
Okay,
okay?
great.
So the question on the speed study is we have not heard back from New York State DOT yet, and neither has he.
It's been 4 months now.
Oh, well, we said that in the
we've looked at
beginning.
that.
It's the state. So I go back to work Monday, so I'll be able to rattle a little more cage than I have been for this month, because I've been out all month.
I'm sorry, I didn't
So,
know that you were.
Nope, that's fine.
out
Emails
now.
work, and when we reached out,
And I
when you
was
reached out to
away
us, we
as
reached
well.
out to him, and we heard back, just this day.
Okay,
okay.
so
As for the-
Mr. Balkan responded about the speed,
The speed study,
and it's pending?
it's in the process is basically the
Nowhere.
answer.
It's going nowhere.
When he hears from New York State DOT, so will we, his email stated.
Well, I thought that it was a county decision and not a state
It does.
decision.
It goes through the county, but New York State still does it. I've said that every time somebody's asked me to do a study. It's never us.
And it's never
Because it's
county.
our road, the state has to be involved.
Okay, because we're waiting also on that the T9, that was the speed limit
That's
reduction.
the forms that we signed and approved for the speed study to be done.
Okay, so wondering, in talking with Diane, of course, because we were both part of this, so Mr. Holmes had seconded the motion to do this, so wondering, because I know that you have a lot of irons in the fire, obviously, could one of the board members be appointed to be responsible to follow up with Mr. Balkan on this? And also about the fact that he also was responsible for trying to limit the trucks on Cricket Hill. I have to tell you, it is worse than ever. The 18-wheelers constantly, all day, every day. I invite any of you to come sit on my porch. I'll make you iced tea. It's crazy.
I believe his answer, was it to you, Mrs. Judson? That it's a cross, it's a through road? What was the words that were used? Was it you? It's a, part of the problem is it's a GPS thoroughfare. So when they punch it in, they go that way.
Yeah.
So I've spoken several times in the last few weeks with Transco, and I sat there and watched while I was out. They are taking a left out of their side. It is
I think
people
that's-
coming from 22 and coming across.
And I agree with you. I think
90% of the time.
I think the
And
majority
I
of them
think his
are
answer
doing
was,
that.
is he can't shut that road down to through traffic. We can
But-
beg all we want, but he's not going to do that right now. And
But
I did give them the
Balkan
number
can-
that you gave us a code or a number a long time back, and you'll have to
Right, the
refresh
Article
my.
40.
Yes, that's
He
it,
can
40.
implement that,
He says I'd
and
have to look into
exclude
that
the
because he didn't
trucks.
think he could.
but he
I brought it to him the first night you brought it to us.
he can.
Well,
Diane?
His answer isn't he can't.
Diane, I mean, I don't want to have to jump in my car or get on my lawnmower and go follow the trucks to find out where'd they go, are they dropping at Transco? But I think because of the fact that the trucks are not limited, it does show up on the trucker's GPS, oh, there's a good way to go. We've seen trucks go down 22, make the left over Cricket Hill, and then have to go back around to 22. Like, they don't want to do it either, but the gravel trucks, it's just, like I said, it's getting worse. and I don't want to blame Transco for all of it, or even the majority of it. But in general, there's just too many trucks. And whether it's Cricket Hill, or if it's your cut over here, I understand that Westchester Modular, I mean, we have a county road to handle this traffic, that there's no reason, unless you're delivering to a home on that street, that it's even there.
The problem is that's a county road as well. So I
But
can,
he can change that, Mr. Balkin can change that.
and when I told him that, you gave me the code 40 or whatever it is.
Article 40.
I brought that to him the next day. I went to work the next day with it. I'll have to look into it. And the answer to me is I don't think I can just say no.
It has to be a mutually agreed upon effort. I can give Mr. Bulkin laws that have been enacted within New York State and
Okay.
within Dutchess County and within Putnam and Westchester County addressing this type of issue.
And what did they do to address it? They
They-
just closed it all down to trucks?
To R14s, yes, they did.
And what
They-
county roads are they?
They are all down below. I'll give you all the
Park County.
information you need. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
If you
State
can,
and
if you can give me some Dutchess County, then I can use it as leverage.
Right.
I mean, I'm their dispatcher,
Mhm.
so I don't know of any
Right.
restricted
And I-
roads unless there's a project going on, truthfully.
And I'll also tell you, Rich, that I've been doing one-on-one with different companies that either own the trucking, that are coming back and forth on Cricket Hill.
Mhm.
The businesses on each side of Cricket Hill that are also experiencing problems with trucking. You and I both know trucks get stuck
I
on a
got the
little
picture.
road that
Yeah.
has no name. It's just a little tiny road that was put in place for the convenience of others. The trucks get stuck. Westchester Modular is having difficulty with that situation. They're very much aware of it. The truck drivers themselves are upset about GPS, telling them to go back and forth across Cricket Hill Road. And all they're asking for, the truck drivers, the businesses, and I can get you letters of support if that's what's required to take some action, is that it is unsafe. It's an unsafe road. They come upon a hill, a downgrade, that they're not aware of until they hit it. School buses do not stop on Cricket Hill Road as they descend that hill because they're fearful of the trucks
Coming down the hill behind them.
coming down the hill.
Okay.
And people are just passing the school buses. They're running the stop sign.
What was the official name of that 40? Say the
Article
title.
Article 40.
Article 40 of the DOT?
I'll give you anything you need.
Yeah, it was Article 40, Section 1650,
Right.
which gives him authority to limit the trucks as it's part of New York State law. And it also-
1550, I'm sorry, section 1550?
156.
Article 40, 1650 was the section.
1650.
And he can change allowing those trucks to be on Cricket Hill, which in turn would change the GPS for those trucks.
So
He
what
can
I'll-
limit the weight, commercial.
So what I'll do for you, Rich, is I'll send you everything, and I'll send you the law.
Yeah. And I'll
you
hand
can
it to
share
him.
with him.
But like I said,
Absolutely.
I went the next day,
I'll
and-
share it with you.
I mean, he's the commissioner, and
This
he
is
said, no,
in
I can't do that.
my email that I sent you on the 25th.
Whether he said can't or won't, that's what he meant.
But, yeah, maybe we
And as
could
far as
pressure him.
As far as GPS is concerned, the county, the town, and the state can also alter what is placed in GPS for routes for specific trucks. You're not going to we don't want to inhibit anybody delivering anything on our street, community
Are they
traffic.
designating a weight limit?
It's
It's-
designating a weight
It's
limit.
simple as that?
Simple as
See,
that.
he didn't
And
say
you
anything
have,
about
you have special needs on that road, children with special needs on that road.
Yeah.
You have a bridge on that road. You have a downgrade
The
on
bridge
that
has
road.
been there as long as I've been alive,
That's
so,
right.
and that's
Right.
the way they
And
look
that's
at
what we're
it.
asking.
I'm still asking for a flashing stop ahead sign,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, that would still be
Yeah.
good, too.
So if you need, whatever you need, I'll get you
I need that
letters of
information
support.
right there so I
I'll
can
get
hand
you
it
the
to him
law,
again on Monday.
And I'll give you samples of how they wrote it up.
Okay.
It might help the council, too.
Again, I don't, you say there's roads to the south of us, but I don't know of any like that in Dutchess, and that's the truth. If I don't know about it, maybe it's such a small road that it just doesn't come up all the time, which is this.
Right, well, the
It's a
bridge
short
doesn't come
shoot
up
from
and our
one
little
side
road
to the
doesn't
other.
come up right. You're
Yep,
right.
and that's all it is.
Okay,
Yep.
thanks, Rich, very much.
Can
I'm
I
just
ask a
gonna-
question?
Sure.
The people that are going, are they the same people all the time, or it's different people?
No, so there was one trucking company, I called and I spoke to them directly, and I have to say, all the drivers agreed. They have only one, there was only, in a 3-month period of time, there was one off because he was a new employee, he didn't know.
Yeah.
And I thanked that company. I said, it's just made a world of difference. But you're right, and I'm tired of calling them, you know, I sound like the crazy woman on Crooked Hill.
Now, is it drivers that just aren't familiar with the area whatsoever, they're just here once in a while?
No, it's
So they're
steady
strictly
Eddies.
following their GPS?
They're following, they're just.
Because the crude example I have is, and I set it up for commercial.
Mhm.
My GPS coming north on 684
Right.
wants me to take 84 to 311.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I'm towing my fifth wheel, what's on 311?
That bridge.
That 12-foot underpass, overpass.
That's right.
So if you didn't have an idea, you're going to go by that.
You're gonna go.
And truthfully, I know a lot of kids that strictly do use their GPS, and I know them personally.
Right.
So they go the way it tells them to go, whether they can
Right.
save an hour or not going what way, they use their GPS. So I understand that part of it, but you get me that information. I think Joe's probably found something for us.
Yeah.
So if you get me that information, Mrs.
Yeah, I
Judson.
will.
I just want to clarify for, so you have on the record, it's New York Vehicle and Traffic Law, 2024.
V&T law, yep.
Because otherwise, if you start looking for Article 40, Section 1650, you could be going into CPLR, you could be going into.
So it's in the New York V&T law book.
It's New York, yeah. I found it in there.
Thanks, Joe.
And it's actually, item 4A stipulates that the superintendent can't do all the things you said.
Okay.
So I'm agreeing with you. For the record.
And where was that listed?
It's, the law that you're referencing is the New York Vehicle and Traffic Law. You just listed the article in the section, which somebody may go to
Got
a
it.
different law.
Sorry,
Right.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I always like to make sure you're at the right law, because if you open up Article 40 in state education law, you're gonna get something else.
We're in there. I'm just trying to
Or
find,
the DEC environmental law, so you wanna.
Ms. Morrissey, you said you had something else?
yeah, no, I was trying to find, because like
Thank you,
Diane
Joe.
said, some of the trucks are constant, you know, and again, like Agway was delivering to my neighbor, yay, you know, finally someone that belongs there. But I see a lot of onesie, twosie trucks, and again, I'm not sitting on my front porch watching this go by, you know. But it's just like, and they're huge 18-wheeler flatbeds, like serious, not a little box truck. I see Edelman's Leather, okay, he's a small truck. I'm sure he's not delivering every week but again, it's a small truck, but these 18-wheelers that are lumbering over. What time is it, 5:30 in the morning? 5:30 every morning. Whatever truck this is, I'm not going to run to my window to look.
And they're coming from the south on
They're-
Old 22 to Cricket Hill, taking a left, going over to 22, taking a right, going north.
I don't know who it is, my ring
Their
doesn't.
GPS is telling them to take that instead of staying on Old 22.
And the drivers are upset because they don't understand why they're going around this.
But they don't know the area, so they're going to follow it.
Once they find that road,
Okay,
they don't stop at the light.
okay. Anything else?
So thank you for listening, I appreciate it.
No,
You both
absolutely.
have been very helpful, and like I said, if you ever want to come sit on my porch, feel free. And again, because Rich, you have had a lot, I guess, going on personally, and the world at large, if one of the board members could be
We'll handle it.
handed the torch, that would be
Well, like
great.
I said, the phone and the emails work, and there's just been nothing back and forth between this. And then when you sent another email the other day, we reached out and
Yeah.
we got an answer
It's
today.
been 4 months, okay. Well, I'm glad he got back
But
to
I do remember saying, remember, we're dealing with the state of New York here. I remember that conversation. And I hate to say it, but they're terrible. And they are the worst. And when you
Great.
deal with their engineering department, it is on the back burner, but that's their front burner. And I say that for a reason, because it moves very, very slowly. Joe can tell you, right? New York State DOT, Joe. Yeah. You want it done tomorrow, prepare for the end of the year. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
And we know that, but now, if she sends me this information, I'll go to Mr. Balkind again, And maybe I'll get a name to reach out and say, where are we at? Or
Yeah.
at least I'll have my engineer rep upstairs reach out for me.
Yeah, it's not just an inconvenience, it's a tremendous safety issue. I have noticed that people seem to be going slower, though, which is,
The signs seem to be working. I believe one, if not two residents of Cricket Hill were pulled over. That-
okay,
No names were given to me, but that
I know it
was,
wasn't
that was
me.
told to me from the captain.
yeah,
So one or two residents from Cricket Hill were pulled over,
good,
so,
as well they should be. Yeah,
okay? And
So-
I think, who was it? I may have answered your daughter when she told us it was down on your end, right? The sign was started on I'll say the west end first. And then they brought it, after I
To the
reached out to
east.
Captain Watterson, I said, when are we moving it? He goes, we're gonna give it a week, 10 days, and then we're gonna put it by the end of the guide rail that you asked for, which is down by your property. So, and it's been there, and I spotted it while I've been out, I was out looking around. I sat at Peaceable Way for a little while one morning, and, because it was right after the
that's you
Transco
lurking.
complaint.
No, I'm kidding. So I did have a question, though. When someone's speeding, let's say they're doing 55,
Yep.
does that capture their plate?
I'm
that
not
they
sure.
can be
I'd have to
ticketed?
I'd have to ask the captain. I know it gives you the speed that you're going.
Yeah, it tells me I'm doing 35, 38, whatever, but if someone's doing, if it's 4 miles an hour, not a big deal, but if they're doing 55, that's an issue.
Mm-hmm. I know ours
Can it capture?
collects data. I don't know what theirs does. And by data, I don't know if it takes a picture of their plate. Council may know
Take state legislation to have
to have that done.
speed cameras like in New York City and other cities.
So it's a warning, basically.
Correct.
It's a warning.
It's a deterrent.
So we can't
Yes,
have a
it's a
speed
deterrent.
And
camera.
usually that's followed up by enforcement.
And I know they've been sitting, I believe, in an access road to property.
Okay, thank you.
They don't like private driveways.
They're welcome to use mine.
Yeah, they won't. That's the problem. But they said okay to that one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And if I can get an answer from Mr. Balkine Monday or Tuesday, I'll have Katie or myself forward it to you. Send what you can, and I'll throw it at him again. All right? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? I see somebody in the back. Anything? No? Upcoming meetings, Wednesday, May 28th, regular board meeting. That's the next coming, you heard of all the events coming up in the upcoming weeks. We'll see you all after Memorial Day, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So everybody, if we don't talk before, have a good and safe holiday weekend. Remember our veterans, especially those who are no longer with us. And at this time, I'll make a motion to go into an executive session to discuss legal litigation. Julie, I please invite you to the 10 minutes. Joe as well, maybe the first 5 or 10 minutes. To go into an executive session to discuss litigation and legal issues and not return to the dais. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion brought by myself, seconded by Deputy Supervisor Murphy to go into executive session to discuss legal issues and not come back to the dais. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for being here, and thank you for watching.